Tensions in Eastern Europe have reached a boiling point as hundreds of NATO F-16 fighter jets launched in a massive show of force near the Ukrainian border. As the sun rose over the arid landscapes of Eastern Europe, the desert came alive with the thunderous roar of jet engines, F-16 fighting Falcons, in formation, kicking up clouds of dust and fear. The message, clear and unmistakable: NATO is ready, watching, and willing to act. The scene unfolded in real time as dozens upon dozens of F-16 fighter jets prepared for rapid deployment from a remote desert airbase near the NATO eastern frontier. The operation, dubbed Operation Desert Vortex, was not just a routine drill. It was a calculated high-speed response to escalating military activity by Russian forces near the Ukrainian border. Pilots scrambled into cockpits. Ground crews worked frantically to check engines, rearm missiles, and fuel up. The hum of readiness filled the air, an atmosphere charged with tension and precision. Pilot, voiceover from cockpit camera. Control, this is Falcon 2. We're green across the board. Engines hot. Copy launch code. Control tower. Falcon 2, you are clear for full throttle takeoff. Repeat, clear for full throttle. Launch window is now. One by one, then by the dozens, F-16s roared into the skies. A ballet of fire and steel. In under 45 minutes, over 120 jets were airborne. An unprecedented show of tactical coordination and multinational readiness. NATO sources confirm that fighter squadrons from the United States, the United Kingdom, Poland, Norway, and the Netherlands were involved in this operation. All aircraft had live ammunition and advanced radar jamming capabilities. Military analyst on screen. This wasn't just a drill, it was a message. A signal to Russia that NATO can mobilize faster than expected, even from the harshest terrain. Inside Russia, panic rippled through military and political channels. The Russian Ministry of Defense immediately issued a statement condemning the deployment, calling it an act of destabilization near our sovereign borders. Russian radar installations lit up the skies as they tracked the high-speed aerial maneuvers. Su-35s and S-400 missile defense systems were put on high alert. Several military air bases across western Russia moved into DEFCON-level postures. Russian spokesperson translated, NATO's actions today represent a direct threat to regional peace. Russia will respond accordingly to any hostile intent. NATO's response was swift. During a press conference at NATO headquarters in Brussels, the alliance reiterated that the operation was a defensive maneuver. NATO spokesperson, this was a pre-scheduled exercise designed to ensure operational readiness and regional security. Let there be no misunderstanding. NATO remains committed to peace, but it will not be intimidated. Despite the public assurance, military insiders confirmed that intelligence reports had warned of increased Russian troop activity near eastern Ukraine, possibly rehearsals for another incursion. Meanwhile, high above the desert, pilots kept tight formation. With fuel tanks full and weapons primed, they patrolled the skies, maintaining strict combat awareness. Pilot 2, radio. Falcon Squadron, maintain altitude 30,000 feet. We've got radar ping from East Quadrant. Possible S-400 tracking us. Pilot 1, response. Copy that. Evasion Protocol Alpha. Stay dark and vector north. Maintain stealth profile. The F-16's agility and avionics were on full display as the jets maneuvered gracefully through simulated dogfight zones. Across Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states, the population watched with mixed feelings: pride, concern, and anxiety. The skies over Eastern Europe hadn't seen this kind of activity since the height of the Cold War. Local resident Poland, you hear those jets and you feel safer, but also more nervous. It means something big is happening. Ukrainian defense volunteer, Lviv. Let them know we're not alone. Russia needs to see that the world is not asleep. For NATO, this was more than posturing. It was a readiness test and a warning. The exercise proves that NATO forces can launch a coordinated, multi-nation air response within hours from rugged terrain. For Russia, the operation represents a significant challenge. Its conventional forces are overstretched, and this sudden surge in NATO activity could force the Kremlin to rethink its near-border tactics.